Guys, it's Jacob and surprise, surprise, Cameron.
He's
back. Let's get straight into it. Today we're talking about the horror genre.
Yes.
So this week we watched a bunch of horror anime, and as we've been doing, we're going to break it down. Straight into it. Horror in anime doesn't work for me.
It's not horror. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's bizarre because like horror in Western is such a jump scare, psychological build-up type thing that it doesn't really track with anime. I don't feel personally.
Well, in my opinion, what they class as horror anime is essentially just gory.
Gore, yeah.
Over-the-top gore and just that over-the-top violence.
Yeah.
That is what their class as horror.
And the fact that that's sort of in all anime at this point kind of lessens that. I mean, ultimately, horror in anime, you're either dealing with zombies or you're dealing with people that are deranged.
Yeah. Like, you've got a few anime out there, like...
Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah, I mean, that's technically horror, but at the same time, it's like you watch it and you're not sitting there, like,
It's more edgy.
Scared. It's just, super edge.
Yeah.
Edgelord. But no, like, there's one anime called Junji Ito Collection.
Right.
It's essentially just a bunch of short anime.
Okay.
Each episode's like a new anime sort of thing.
Dope.
But it's just like a bunch of like horror stories of Japanese folklore. And it's just that sort of like unsettling,
nice,
creepy horror.
Yeah.
Which is what you would expect from a horror genre.
Yeah. That's what works for me. Like when it comes to Western horror, I don't really consume it much because I'm bad at jump scares and I don't deal with ghosts.
Oh, neither.
But I really like your slow creeping psychological horrors like your Get Outs and that sort of thing. Which is why, for me, like the one anime that really, truly terrified me was Attack on Titan.
Actually, yeah, there are a few scenes in Attack on Titan.
Season 2, when they hold up in the castle and he opens the door and that Titan's just staring, smiling. I was watching that and my body literally convulsed and was at that point of fight, flight, what do we do? And I've never had that watching anime ever before.
I think it was that 2-second pause of just him standing there holding the door open, staring dead-faced at this Titan, and it's just that pause that makes you think...
The Titans already are creepy.
Yeah, because it's that hyper-realistic that makes it real creepy. Because you're like, you shouldn't look like that, but at the same time, you kind of expect it to look like that. It's like a teddy bear with real teeth. You look at it and you're like, that's not right.
Shouldn't happen.
That's creepy.
It's the same reason I'm terrified of porcelain dolls.
Oh, God.
But yeah, like, that's pretty much the only time I can ever think of a horror anime working for me. Like, it's just...
It's got to be that sort of that slow build creepy thing that makes the horror work in anime.
And I think something to do with the runtime of anime as well.
Yeah,
like
it's too long.
It's hard to burn something in 22 minutes, as well as subtitles. If you're watching stuff subbed, you can see what's happening before it happens, which is one of the issues of
also
sub.
You're taking your view away from what might be happening on the frame to what you're reading on the screen. You might miss something that you should have even jumped at.
Yeah.
If they do put that jump scare in.
Horror, of course, the horror genre doesn't work for us personally. If you guys enjoy it, or if you feel like it works, then that's awesome. I feel like just as native English speakers, it just doesn't quite hit.
Yeah, it might be that language barrier as well that especially with the subs.
Because we're missing the things on the screen.
Also, a lot of, if there is horror, more specific, that sort of like creepy ghost tale stuff in anime, it's very specific to Japanese folklore stuff. Yeah. So it's a lot of things that we might have never heard of. So when we're watching it, we're like, they might be implying to things that Japanese culture would know about. Yeah, and they would know a lot about, and they would inherently have that creepy reaction to it.
For sure.
But then we watch it and we're like, I have no idea what's going on. What is this thing meant to be?
Some of the things in Japan that they consider creepy doesn't quite work over here, and then some of the things they think are cute terrify me. Like when we were in Japan, those tiny little teddy bear things that were everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
They're terrifying.
Yeah.
I'll try and find a picture of them.
They were...
Yeah, terrifying. But...
They think they're cute.
And ultimately, horror is always a difficult genre. Horror is the genre that all filmmakers start in if you really want to do something, because it's the timing, the story, everything has to come together so well. It's like good comedy, because the hits and the pacing have to be there. And that's why comedy is hard to do and understand in other languages. Yeah. Because you don't have that flow and build up.
Yeah, it's essentially horror and comedy are very specific to the country or culture that they originate in. They're designed for those people and to appeal to them.
Yeah. And that's totally fine. Ultimately, it's still a great genre with some really good stuff in it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like, I was watching Drifters. Drifters is awesome. Drifters is so cool. It's not horror.
It's awesome. In our terms of horror, it's not horror. Yeah. It's just gory.
I mean...
But it's a good anime.
The most intense thing I think I watched this last week trying to research horror stuff was Danganronpa.
That is good.
Which, whilst starting as a video game,
it's definitely
that's real tense.
Yeah.
That's got, like, Get Out vibes on it. That almost Hunger Games-esque, like, who's gonna murder me?
Yeah, everyone's just on edge the entire time. You're like, who's gonna be next? And how is it gonna happen? Yeah. And then who's gonna find out who it is?
And that's where I think Japanese, or at least horror in anime work, is when you're dealing with the deranged, not the spiritual.
Yeah, and that's sort of like that suspense. Yeah. That's what you really need.
It is difficult to talk on, again, because of cultural barriers and whatnot. But ultimately, I think it's a great genre that doesn't live up to its name, at least from what I've been able to watch.
Yeah.
It's intense. It's not horror.
Yeah. So, like, for example, Hellsing and Hellsing Ultimate, they're in the horror genre because it's that
I watched Hellsing as a kid.
Yeah, right. It's just because it's that gore, that over-the-top violence.
Whilst that can be very confronting. Like, horror is a confronting genre.
But it's something that's meant to make you... Like, it's meant to put you on edge and not... Yeah. You don't feel comfortable watching it.
For sure. It hits all the tropes, but whether or not it sells what it's trying to...
Yeah.
Whether or not it sells what it's trying to sell you, really.
It ultimately comes back to that essential, like, cultural differences, and that it's designed to... it's aimed to be at wherever it's made.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, most anime is designed to appeal to Japanese people, because that's where it's made.
Of course. Yeah. Like,
except for the Netflix stuff. That's westernized.
Yeah, and the Netflix stuff has been good. Like, we'll talk about it in the next topic more in depth, but stuff like Devilman Crybaby.
Yeah.
That was a very confronting and
that is scary horror as well.
Horror. Yeah, because it dealt with these moments of uncontrollable fear and deranged people. Yeah. Which is what I was saying.
It also has that deformity to it as well, where you've got limbs that shouldn't be where limbs are, or extra faces where faces shouldn't be. That's another big trope of anime horror. Is definitely. That sort of
the body
deformities. Yeah, body deformities and stuff. But I think that might even come back to sort of like where
sort of a general unsettling.
Yeah,
vibe.
I suppose because a lot of anime touches on the whole like nuclear aspect of things.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's like the unsettling of body mutations would come from that radioactive mutation.
It's sort of a cultural psychology point of view.
So it's that sort of thing that a lot of Japanese people would potentially find very unsettling because of the way they've been raised.
A reality.
It's a reality
not to them
for them
now, but in the past.
Like in the same way that the kaijus and all the big monster movies and stuff for the Japanese
Godzilla
were.
And even Gundam to a point was inspired by the nuclear age.
Yeah, exactly. And that's sort of like, if you look back on a lot of the anime and their inspirations, you can draw a lot of it to that.
Yeah, definitely.
And then obviously
Giguk actually does a really great breakdown of how the nuclear age influenced anime. You guys should definitely check that out. But not after watching the rest of this week's content.
Indeed.
That's pretty much it for horror. Like, I know we were pretty down on it. We respect it, of course. But it just didn't quite work for us and our sensibilities. And I think this is one of the main points where the cultural influence really does the genre a disservice. But
to anyone that isn't Japanese.
Yeah, definitely. But throw any recommendations of good horror down in the comments. Give us your opinions, whether you think we were right or wrong, or if you have anything else to say or elaborate. And we'll see you tomorrow with our next segment, which is the creepiest and most unsettling. Peace.
See yous.